It's that time of year. Chris has joined me and we are sitting in my
Hello.
sitting room. It is the time of the year for the Deepdale Podcast roundup of the top albums of the year. As you know, Chris gets very, very excited about music. So when you ask him to pick his top albums of the year, he takes quite a while to decide because there's quite a lot of music that he absolutely loves. This year, he has chosen 12 top albums and an EP. Bear with us. We've got lots and lots of great music. And the great thing is, just about every band have said yes to us playing a little sample. So we're going to race through these amazing albums, hopefully doing them justice. Chris is going to get very passionate about a lot of amazing music and explain the incredible artists that he's selected and why. And then we'll play you a sample from their albums. Without further ado, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, Chris. What is your... These are in no particular order, by the way. We're going to start with Pomegranate by India Electric Company.
We are. Hello. How you doing?
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. It's been a really amazing year for new music this year. I think it's a bumper year. And I've got all of these albums on repeat in the car because that's where I listen to most music every single day, is in the car, driving to and from Deepdale. So I get about an album on the way in and an album on the way home, depending on whether you're listening to a double album or not. So India Electric Co., what a lovely band they are. Lovely couple of guys. They're brilliant. And we know them from Festival in 2023.
Yep, and coming back to us in September
2025. We can announce that they're coming back to us in 2025 for our concert that we're putting on, our gig for them as part of their tour that they'll be doing. And they're going to be playing with us at the end of September. Tickets are now available. Yeah, their album this year that was out is Pomegranate, and it's a great album. It's a great album. It's a good listen, and it's a multi-listen album. It's full of really deeply layered, textured songs that require multiple listening, and you get more and more out of it the more you listen to it. It's so well crafted. They're such good players, and the album is a mix of really lush arrangements of fantastic indie, folk, pop songs. Really, really good. So we're so looking forward to having them back. Great stuff.
Fantastic. And we're going to be playing a sample of Balancing Act. So enjoy that, and then we'll talk about our next album.
It's a balancing act. I still imagine that I'm walking on a tightrope in pieces of a man. I just imagine that there's more to it than all this heavy traffic. We're following around a place behind the sun. We're following around a place behind the sun. It's a balancing act, lost property of facts, of all the muddy water, of all the lost and found. It's not surprising that it feels so strange. You call me by your name. We're following around a place behind the sun. We're following around a place behind the sun.
So the next album is by George Boomsma, The Promise of Spring.
Yes. George is a really lovely guy. I've met him a couple of times. at Moseley. I think there are only 3 Moseley acts on the list this year.
Wow,
which is
that's
unusually
unusual.
light.
Yeah, that's
for me.
very unusual.
Unusually light. And George, I've met him in the context of him playing with Katherine Priddy, and he's got an album out this year of his own stuff, and it is lovely. I really, every time I see George on a bill somewhere, I think, oh, we're really going to love seeing and listening to him. He's so talented. He's got a great voice. He's a brilliant guitar player. And his stuff is brilliant. And his album is lovely and quirky because it's interrupted between each song. You've got these little pieces of spoken word, little pieces acted out as if it's his parents talking to him, and he's in the jungle, and he's basically playing with these scenarios when he's growing up, and they're just fantastic. Not quite sure how the album plays if you listen to it track by track on Spotify or something like that, but as I don't do that, I can listen to it all the way through, and you pick up the rhythm of it, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. We saw him at Moseley this year. Yeah, fantastic. So I've always seen him playing solo or backing and accompanying Katherine, but he's got a band on this album playing with him, and some really great arrangements, really great folk songs. Cashmere Grey, I think we're going to hear a bit of in a little while, which is super. Johnny Walker Guy is an upbeat track that's got a little bit of humour running through it, and I just want to get his music out there a bit more because it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic. We'll enjoy a sample of Cashmere Grey, and we'll be back shortly. So next up is a band that were played at the 2024 festival, a local band to us, a Norwich-based band, Brown Horse, with their album Reservoir.
Yeah, I've seen them a few times this year, including at our festival, where I thought they sounded amazing. I think that was a brilliant sound from Tim. We'll put our plug in early for our resident sound engineer, Tim, at Deepdale, and I thought he did a brilliant job with their sound because it can be quite complex. There's 6 of them, lots of instruments, but yeah, their songs are also very deeply layered. They are very a collegiate band. Everything is written and credited by them as a whole, as a band. So they're all inputting to each song. And yeah, it's one of the sort of heavier-ish sounding albums on my list. It's Americana, country, rock, with a particular sound, unique uniquely sounding vocals, and how that's put together. But yeah, I love it. Yeah, love it. Seen them 3 or 4 times this year.
We are going to be listening to a sample of Stealing Horses. And then to one of our regular favourites, and a band that we know personally and love dearly, the Shackleton Trio, with their 10-year anniversary album. So tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, the Shackleton Trio. We love the Shackleton Trio. They are just such a brilliant trio of musicians. So super talented, so modest with it, and so hardworking as well in terms of what they're doing. But yes, they're out with their 10th anniversary album, which I have on CD and vinyl. And if you are thinking of getting this, I would highly recommend vinyl if there's still some available, because the depth of sound on it is amazing. The production on the vinyl is really, really good. Really good. But yeah, it's a collection of new songs and re-recorded tracks that are no longer available. So they've re-recorded a few of their favourites to get them back out there. And yeah, gorgeous. They tell such beautiful stories, I think, largely based in East Anglia, although the track we're going to hear an excerpt of is about the old frost fairs down on the Thames, so a little bit further afield. But they're based around the Fens and the Broads, and all of the deep and dark stories that link us to our past, and stuff that's going on now. They're really, really lovely band, and Frost Fair, I think we're going to hear a excerpt from, which is,
and of course they're coming to do one of our gigs next year.
They are also coming to do one of our gigs next
July.
year. We have a series of gigs booked for next year at Deepdale, and they are playing on the 19th of July, and tickets are selling already, so don't hold back.
Yeah, if you want to know any more information about the music programme at Deepdale, just head to deepdalemusic.co.uk. It'll give you a full programme of all the events and the theatre that we've got happening this coming year. And there's more gigs to be announced in due course, but at the moment there's quite a few already on there. There's some really fabulous acts playing, and the Shackleton Trio are being supported by Adam Clark. And as Chris says, they're playing in July, which is very exciting. So
they are,
cool.
And the album is, if you haven't got it on CD or vinyl, is a way of getting their classic tracks, Lonesome George, about the tortoise, and War Pigeon, about the pigeon. So if you need music about tortoises and pigeons in your lives, then this is the album to get. They're great tracks, and it's really good to see them back out there again in the current album. So yeah, perfect.
Enjoy Frost Fair. Now we move on to an artist again who played at the 2024 festival. It's Annie Dressner with I Thought It Would Be Easier.
Annie's album out this year is a really lovely album, actually. Lovely pop folk album. Some brilliant hooks, brilliant riffs, some lovely guitar stuff going on through it. Really great. I love listening to it. It's on the car in rotation, and there's loads of tracks on here that you just you get into more and more on repeated plays through the album. I love it. I love the sort of slower stuff, but I also love the 18 years, the Should Have Seen It Coming. Really good. American, based over in Cambridge, and yeah, Annie Dressner. Really nice album.
And you're going to listen to a sample of 18 Years.
You have nothing and no one but yourself to blame. Bored and lonely isn't an excuse to live this way. And you'll never be who I need you to be, and you'll never be who I thought you were. And you've never once been there for me, never really. And there's nothing left to say, and there's nowhere left to go. Oh, there's nothing left to say, and there's nowhere left to go. It took me 18 years to try and get to know you. It took me 18 years to finally trust you. It took hardly any time at all to feel let down. I feel stupid for trying, even stupider for crying over you. Always chalked it to busy lives. Tonight I saw what I needed to see, that I'm nothing to you. It changed everything for me.
We now move on to an artist that we both really love, and I'm very chuffed to have seen her in London earlier in the year, which was just the most fantastic gig at the Octagon Chapel down in Islington, and it was superb. And Chris Riddle was drawing for that a gig, which just brought it alive in another amazing way. And Katherine has a new album out. Katherine Priddy has a new album out called The Pendulum Swing, which is a fabulous album. I can speak from experience, as it's played fairly regularly in this household. Nice. Tell us, why is this on your list, Chris?
Well, I've really enjoyed Katherine's work since first seeing her at Moseley. A while ago now, when Wolf, her initial EP, was out, and I do have my little signed copy of Wolf kicking around somewhere at home, so that's I'm keeping that one in the background. Yeah, it's a new album out this year. Is a further development in her sound and her songwriting. It's very reflective. It's themed around leaving and returning, leaving and coming back, the life of a touring musician, I guess, moving away and coming back to family home and to base back over Birmingham Way, where she is these days. And it's a gorgeous collection of songs. First House on the Left, all about your childhood family home, and how that is an anchor in your life, and coming back to that from times away, and a sanctuary. Really gorgeous. Boat on the River, Ready to Go. Lovely songs. And she's back, I think, in Norwich in March, and we're going to see her.
I think so, yeah. I think it's March, yes.
Yeah, at the Arts Centre, I think. And yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant. And we're going to be playing a sample of A Boat on the River.
city's not home, though it knows me well. It's cradled me close for some time. But when I'm alone and the traffic stops beating, I can't get the thought from my mind. Am I just lost? Could I be lonely? Is it just the rain we've had so much of lately? Or is it just that this city's been bringing me down? Ooh. All that I want is a boat on the river and someone to hold, and time to deliver me until I'm old. I'll go where the current takes me. And all that I want is to live slow and easy one day at a time. There's enough speed to please me. A dog by the door, someone to sing me to sleep. Sing me to sleep. Oh.
Next on the list is another 2024 festival act.
Yes,
The Henry
indeed,
Girls.
the Henry Girls.
The Henry Girls with A Time to Grow, which is a gorgeous album.
Yeah, it really is a gorgeous album. It's Irish trio, and we were blown away that they were happy to come over to the festival this year and play for us. You know, Sheila and I have listened to their music for over the last 10 years and just loved it so much. It's been such a part of our lives together that we were gobsmacked. I was gobsmacked when I thought, oh, the Henry Girls might come and play our festival, and that lived up to all of our expectations and wishes. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So yes. Fusion of traditional and modern Irish folk music, some beautiful songs, pretty much all written. There's one I think traditional on there, but pretty much all written by the girls, and just gorgeous album. You know, really beautiful melodies and personal, emotional lyrics. It really is them finding themselves, their true selves, and expressing it in song. And I love it. I love the album, and I'm so pleased that they came, and I hope we get a chance to see them again soon over here. Not necessarily over at Deepdale, but over here somewhere. So yeah.
And I had the most wonderful chat with two of them on the podcast pre the festival, which was really lovely to be able to chat with them on the podcast. That was really great.
Really lovely people, and as is everybody who comes and plays at Deepdale, to be fair. But yeah, really lovely people, and as I've said before, sorely missed is Bob Harris's Through the Night show that he used to do on Radio 2 when they actually played live shows on Radio 2 through the night, showcasing lots of new roots, acoustic, country, Americana stuff, and I've discovered many more than the Henry Girls through him and that show, and they just have never replaced it, and it's a real loss.
Yeah,
but it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Found them that way.
We're playing a sample of Winter's Day, so enjoy.
Yeah, I think that's seasonal and appropriate, and you could play sort of almost any track on the album. Time to Grow, the first track. There's some brilliant stuff, but yeah, Winter's Day, why not?
Journey to come into
sail on a winter's day. Little newborn breathe the air, set sail on a winter's day. There will be mountains you will have to climb. There may be shadows, but you will always find.
One of our favourite people in the music world, Kathryn Williams, and her current partner in crime, Withered Hand, and their album Willson Williams. Just another really enjoyable album, and chatting to those two on the podcast before the festival was just fantastic. He was wandering through the streets of Edinburgh while we were chatting, and she was in her studio at home, and I really enjoyed their set at the 2024 festival. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? It was really brilliant. It was great to have Kath back at Deepdale in another guise, as it were, and with Dan, and it was great to meet Dan and to get to know him a little bit and to hear their music together. Yeah, Kath is such a creative person and such a pusher of boundaries while remaining uniquely her, that you can't miss the fact that it's and identify the fact that it's Kathryn Williams on the record, but continues to do new stuff and different stuff, and that's one of the things that I love so much about what she does, is that she doesn't sit in a groove and keep repeating it. She's always out doing new stuff and looking for new collaborations and looking for different ways to express herself. I love it so much. And as many of the reviews of this album have said, but it is nevertheless true, it became a sort of summer soundtrack album because the songs have that feel, sort of just dreamy days sat on the beach listening to this, or in the car on the way to the seaside. And yes, it's a really, really good album. So there's pop in there, there's folk, but yeah, really good. And there's a stonking great riff on Big Nothing, the last track on the album, which you sat listening through this album, then all of a sudden Big Nothing comes on. I think, oh, that's unusual. And brilliant. I love it so much. That it's sort of a really meaty rock riff on the end, and some great rhythms, and absolutely love that track. So we could play a tiny bit of that if you get a chance, but Sing Out as well is joyous, absolutely joyous.
Fantastic. Yeah, I really love Weekend, where they're both singing about not really wanting to go out. It's just great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a whole collection of really great songs, and it's all about, sort of downtime, home time, summertime, being who you are. I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, if you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million things to be, that there are. And if you want to live high, live high. And if you want to live low, live low. 'Cause there's a million ways to go.
we're more than halfway through now. Can't believe how quickly you can get through some
honestly,
incredible music. It
so
would take you a
much.
lot longer to listen to this music, and thoroughly enjoyable time it would be as well. So definitely, this is your opportunity to listen to all these great albums, get them for Christmas, and then spend the 12 days of Christmas listening to these 12 different albums. This is an artist that I have not knowingly ever listened to, Ferris and Sylvester, and their album Otherness. So you are completely in charge on this one.
Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, Ferris and Sylvester. Sheila and I were talking about when we first heard Ferris and Sylvester, and we know where it was, and we know roughly when it was, but we can't remember exactly who they were supporting. We think it might well have been Wildwood Kin. So there's a link to Deepdale. It was at the Waterfront studio upstairs.
But I was there
in Norwich.
then. So I have seen Ferris.
You might have seen them. If it was them, I can't remember who they were
I
supporting.
can't remember who
We
was...
couldn't remember who they were supporting, but we absolutely
Maybe
loved them. They're a husband and wife duo, and we really loved them. And they've got a new album out this year, which is called Otherness, and it is really good. It's really good. It's a whole mix of yes, there's sort of indie folk in there, but it's a whole mix of blues and soul and rock, and it's really surprising, but it's great, really, really good. And the second Deepdale connection is that Lady Nade is backing vocals on a couple of the tracks.
Oh, right, okay.
And so yeah, it's really good. We love Ferris and Sylvester. There's some great songwriting, great lyrics, really good voices, and some great riffs on there. Really good songs. So this is their second album. We'll be trying to find where they're playing next year to get and see them again, because we really love them.
Ferris and
Definitely
Sylvester's
worth a
album
plan.
Otherness, we're going to be playing Don't Fall in Love with Me.
Yeah, you could play a number of tracks off that album. Well, you could play all of the tracks, to be honest, because I love them. But yeah, Don't Fall in Love with Me, I really like.
Don't fall in love with me, or I'll fall in love with you. Don't fall into a dream. My dreams will make a fool of you. It's the morning and I'm already different to what you pictured. So don't say what I think you're about to. Be brave and get out soon before I wear you down, down, down. Don't say what I know you're thinking, 'cause before it sinks in, I'll be sinking too. Don't leave me down that road, or I'll lead you far from.
So now we're moving on to a band. Am I right thinking they're an international
Yeah, American.
American
sort of
band
Portland.
called the Decemberists?
Over in Oregon, in the US, and yes, Decemberists.
As It Ever Was, So It Will Be Again is the album.
Yeah.
What a great name.
What a great name, and what a great band. They are such a great band. They cross oceans with their music, and I can't even remember how I found them. I keep thinking back on maybe they were a Bob Harris suggestion a long time ago, but I got into them through their Crane Wife album, which is a little bit of a partial sort of concept album. It's absolutely amazing album, and I still play it today, and it's brilliant. And then got into all of their prior stuff, back catalogue, and everything that's come out since. I mean, I'm constantly looking for more music from the Decemberists, and I'm constantly looking to see if they're over in the UK touring. And I was really hoping they would tour this record this year, and they played one festival down in London, Finsbury Park, I think, and I couldn't get to it because we were working. And I was thinking, there's going to be some dates announced on the back of that, and there weren't. And so I am now desperately hoping that they come over to the UK in 2025. And if they do, you've got to try and get to see them, because they are amazing. They're amazing live, and their records are incredible. You're driven by Colin Malloy's songwriting and playing, and they're all over the place with genres, all over the place. Absolutely anything you can think of, they're playing. Right from heavy rock, metal-y riffs, all the way right back down to sort of music hall style influences, and everything in between. And they play the lightest of melodies over the darkest of lyrics, and they're all poetry. They're all full of stories. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So you don't really like that album?
No, it's just passed me by. I love the drumming. I love the percussion that goes into their stuff, and yeah, they're artistically brave. This is a double album. I've got the vinyl as well as the CD, and the fourth side is one song, "Joan in the Garden," which is 20 minutes long. It's brave. It's brilliant and brave, and I have seen on that they've played it live, and you think, wow, that is brave. But that's what you expect with the Decemberists, and I've seen them when they've been over in the UK. Every time they come over, I try and see them, because every gig is different, and they are absolutely amazing. So if you aren't into the Decemberists, get into the Decemberists. I'm sure we'll never manage to get them at Deepdale, but
they're always welcome.
They are always welcome, but they're absolutely tremendous band.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to play a sample of Long White Veil,
which is a brilliant example of a song about death and marriage, all wrapped up in the same day, let alone the same song. You overlaid with the most jangly, lovely, happy guitars.
Excellent.
And
well,
song.
That's superb.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you for the recommendation.
Oh yeah, you've got to start with the Crane Wife. Start with the Crane Wife, please, because it's one of the albums that's got one of the songs on it that if it's ever playing anywhere and I'm hearing it, whether I put it on or somebody else has put it on, I get lost in it, completely lost. And there you go.
Every night the dreams the same. Every time I speak her name, black and shiny eyes appear in a long white
So now we're moving on to another artist that I'm pretty certain I haven't seen these guys or heard from them. 5 Hills Out and their album Dystopia Bazaar.
Yeah. Well, I've only found these guys this year. I think as a result of them actually sort of contacting us about potentially playing at Deepdale, but they were too late to get on the bill for this year's festival, and we just couldn't make it quite work. But I really like them. I really like their stuff. They've got an album out, Dystopia Bazaar. They are a punk folk setup with heavy saxophones in there as well as guitars, some really great riffs, protest songs on this album. Really, really good album. You know, rocky, heavy in places, but excellent. Really lovely. And I really love the riff that runs through the third track on the album, Town End. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And yeah, really good. I'm hoping that we might be able to persuade them over to Deepdale at some point. Yeah, over from Derby way. So yeah, great band, actually, great album. And I think we're going to hear an excerpt.
We're going to hear Bricks.
Yeah, Bricks. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's about the stories that bricks might tell from buildings.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like the concept of that. That's really
sort
good.
of lifetime if they could speak. So yeah.
Excellent. So our last album, our last album is by Hope and Social, and it is The Ride.
Yeah, I could actually get a little bit emotional, as I am getting a little bit emotional talking about this. And I was thinking about what would be our album of the year if we had to choose one. And obviously, strictly style, we've been doing it in no particular order, and that's true because I love each and every one of these albums, and I think they're all brilliant. If I had to choose one, then we would choose this one. We would choose The Ride by Hope and Social. And if you love music, and if you love contemplating your life and what it means to you to have it when it might get taken away from you just by complete fluke of nature, completely unlooked for, then you want to get this album. And the band, we had this band booked to come and play at Deepdale, and they had to cancel because of health matters. And The Ride is effectively their comeback album from that situation, and it is the most incredible piece of music and collection of songs that you'll find. It is full of it's full of the most emotional mix of joy and sadness, of pain and life force. It's just incredible. You can't listen to it without either being partly in tears, laughing at the sheer inventiveness, the lyrical quality in this, and the way that the band work together to put the music to back these lyrics, these stories, is just amazing. And having seen them on the tour for it, which was the reason why we couldn't rebook them for this year's festival, because they were out touring this album, see them live was absolutely one of the highlights of the year. Absolutely one of the highlights, if not the highlight of the year. And they're such lovely people, such lovely guys, and it was just one of those experiences that you're so pleased that you didn't miss in your life.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
They're a great band. Previous album that we bought, Jigsaw, is also a brilliant piece of music, but the ride is amazing. It is amazing. So if you want to sit and reflect on 2024 and what 2025 might bring you and what you want to get out of your life, then get this album before Christmas. You just got time, although you might not have time by the time the podcast actually hits the airwaves, I realise. But yeah, get this album. It is absolutely fantastic.
I'm going to play a lovely track off the album called Sweetheart.
I am sitting at a table in a place I couldn't dream, watching all the world unfold, a perfect painted scene. I am sipping on a liquid, tastes as good as life can be, wishing that I'd noticed it before this came for me, sweet. The rain is tapping rhythms that remind me of your heart. The sun is slicing segments through a cafe made of art, and outside someone whistles like a thick and unctuous sin. I hear a snatch of Babylon and I wanna breathe it in, into lungs that still can breathe, and a heart that still can beat, and a brain that dreams of making things, and eyes that still won't sleep. I can smell that spring is coming, I can taste it on the air. My heart is full to bursting and my body in repair, sweetheart. Pulls up beside me and the diesel fumes explode. I breathe it in so eagerly to slake my thirsty nose. I wanna bathe myself in every puddle, every drop. I wanna paint myself a masterpiece of ugly art, and the steroids keep me thinking.
Yeah, you could play the whole album actually, if you know.
I'm not sure I'm legally allowed to do that in the podcast.
Okay, yeah, no,
that's sort of basically
that.
the same as listening to the entire album on Spotify, which is
yeah.
kind of not your favourite thing, is it really? So, yeah.
Do you know what? I am realising that I am becoming a little bit of a dinosaur because I just don't stream. And so there's some music that I haven't been able to get this year because I don't stream. And, you know, who was it that released something the other day? And it's just straight, there's no other way of getting it. And I thought, oh, that's a bugger. Am I going to have to start doing this streaming thing?
Hurts.
It does hurt because they're just, you know...
Getting so little money for it.
Well, they're getting no money for it. They're getting no money for it. If you don't get... What is it now? I see it on social media. If you don't get 1,000 plays, you get absolutely no credit for it whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So, this is all physical stuff, people. This is all physical stuff that I'm surrounded by, and I'm rubbing all over my face and, you know, loving in other ways. well, by playing it really, but yeah, go out and buy the stuff. I know most of you haven't got CD players out there, but you know that is your loss. So go and get one. Get a record player. Go and get some vinyl from artists that isn't massively overpriced in HMV. Go and get some, go and do that. Because it makes such a difference to musicians. I don't know how the whole system is going to carry on the way it's going for smaller artists if it doesn't change in some way. And so every little bit counts, because if you buy an album, either buying the download, buying the CD, or buying the vinyl, literally that's more than they'll get for just thousands and thousands of streams on Spotify.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It is. It's utterly crazy. But yeah, well, there we are. 12 albums, the 12 albums of Christmas.
The 12 albums of Christmas, which is brilliant.
In 2024. And honestly, they're amazing. They're amazing. We could do like a, in no particular order, countdown, couldn't we?
We could. Shall we do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
So in no particular order, this is
particular order,
the Deepdale 12 albums of Christmas.
Yes, and so we've got Pomegranate by India Electric Co. We've got The Promise of Spring by George Boomsma. We've got Reservoir by Brown Horse. We've got the Shackleton Trio. We've got I Thought It Would Be Easier by Annie Dressner. The Pendulum Swing by Katherine Priddy. A Time to Grow, the Henry Girls. Willson Williams by Kathryn Williams and Withered Hand. Otherness by Ferris and Sylvester. As It Ever Was, So It Will Be Again by the Decemberists. Dystopia Bazaar by Five Hills Out, and The Ride by Hope and Social.
And then, just to make my editing a little bit more complicated, you've decided to throw in an EP at the end of this as a sort of special additional Christmas present.
Yes.
And it is Never So Red by Frankie Archer.
Which is in fact Frankie Archer's late 2023 EP, which is about to be superseded by Pressure and Persuasion, her new record about to come out. Yeah, Frankie has burst onto the scene really through this year by exposure in various places. So she's been on Jules and Glastonbury, and yeah, brilliant stuff though, brilliant stuff. It's a fusion of traditional folk with her love of electronic music, and so there's a lovely electro folk vibe running through what she does, but her stuff has a powerful corrective theme of dealing with outdated stereotypes and relating to the treatment of women through folk music, and it's removing and reworking how women are seen and treated and abused in lots of traditional folk music. And so yeah, it's powerful stuff. Some brilliant melodies and some brilliant electronic stuff, effects and percussion and working. So yeah. Again, we couldn't quite make it work to bring her over to Deepdale for this year's festival. So yeah, watch this space for future years if we can.
And we're actually going to play a sample from her new, the one that you say is coming very
Pressure
shortly.
Yeah.
And we're going to be playing Elsie Marley. So enjoy that as our final little sort of Christmas present.
Can Elsie Marley
the lassie that sells the barley. Do you ken Elsie, Marley, Hinny, the lassie that sells the barley, Hinny? She lost her pocket and all of her money, the back of the bush in the garden, Hinny. Elsie, Marley's grown so fine, she won't get up to feed the swine. Lies in bed till 8 or 9. Do you ken Elsie, Marley, Hinny? Elsie, Marley's grown so fine, won't get up to feed the swine. Lies in bed till 8 or 9.
Thank you so much, Chris. Fantastic selection of music. As normal, you have both picked some of my faves and also introduced me to a bunch of new people that I haven't necessarily heard of before, which is just wonderful. Thank you. For anybody out there, make sure you buy these albums. They are incredible pieces of work, really deserve being in your house in a physical format, or at least downloaded from the artist's Bandcamp, wherever they may be. We will have all of these albums listed on our website, how to buy each of the albums, from the link that is most beneficial to the artist. Please do have a listen back to lots of other episodes of the Deepdale Podcast. Quite a lot of these artists have appeared on the podcast at various points, and we will put suitable links where they are. So the Shackleton Trio have been on there, Annie Dressner has been on there, the Henry Girls have been on there, Kathryn Williams has been on there. Enjoy these albums. Have an amazing Christmas. Thank you again, Chris, for joining me for the podcast. Really lovely to have you with us.
You are welcome.
We hope we will see you on the North Norfolk coast again. But whatever you're doing and wherever you're doing, make sure you keep listening to amazing music and have the most fabulous festive season. All the best. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.